Hi everybody, and welcome to a very special video. I realized just before I started this voiceover that this is actually the first time that you guys are seeing me doing this, because I started my channel this year. And I started it I think in March. So you would have never seen me set up my actual bullet journal, which is what we're doing today. This is not, just a disclaimer, this is not my book bullet journal. That one is coming. This one is not that. This is the journal that I use for my quote-unquote regular life, I guess I should say. And this is the one that I use for that. And I'm just very excited to actually get into this and share the spreads that I actually set up every single year. Now, mind you, I have a little bit of a journey that I go through every single end of the year, which is I go back to my previous journal and I just flick through it and I try and figure out what worked, what didn't work, what kind of worked, but do I need to tweak? Are there things that I just want to get rid of entirely? And so it changes every single year. Now, I think this year I decided to actually kick out a lot of the things. I think one of the main things that I actually decided to get rid of was 25 in 2025's list. It took up so much space in my bullet journal, and I actually didn't even end up using it, which was kind of sad, but also just proved that there's going to be pages, even for someone like me who's been doing bullet journals for so long, that are just, I'm going to set up and I'm going to have every intention of using, and then it just won't happen. So if you are of the same boat, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad to have empty spaces. Don't feel bad to have spreads that you don't go back to. It happens to the best of us. We have the best intentions. And then life happens. I mean, I did fill out a little bit of it, but not that much. There are a few spreads that are coming back. There's even one spread that I basically just copy and pasted because it's been working for me quite well throughout the entirety that I have been starting it. So as you guys can see right now, what I'm doing is I'm just setting up a cover page. It's pretty simple. And I also always decide on a kind of theme to go and start a bullet journal with, just because I think it's a nice thing to open a journal and have, especially the first few pages, be actually cohesive and have a same theme. Also, I'm just pasting these two first pages together because they're always really weird, aren't they? They never lie flat, they never open all the way, it never happens the way that you want it to, and instead of struggling against it, I just ended up pasting the two of them together. Also, word of the year, have not decided yet. I haven't. Because I'm also very much, if you can hear any noise in the background, my cat has decided to get the zoomies. So if you hear anything in the background, I do apologize. But no, this is, like I mentioned, the word of the year is yet to be decided. I am still very much working on what I want to actually focus on in the new year and what I want the overall theme to be, word to be, phrase to be. I just think that it needs to be set with intention, and if I just choose one so that I could make a cover page for it, then it's not gonna feel authentic to what I actually want to do. And this one is actually one of the first pages that I did end up tweaking. Now, one of the things that it's one of those things in index, when you have it, you feel like, well, maybe I don't need it next year, and then when you don't have it, you miss it. So it's a hit or miss for me, but I think the way that I've set it up now is kind of really making me want to fill it out, because I decided to split the index into two parts, which you're probably seeing here on the screen right now. This little square post-it note is where I'm gonna be adding all of the pages of the monthlies. So when I start, what page I start a month on and end a month on, because I just think it's a much easier way to spot my actual yearly spreads, or like my monthly spreads, I should say. And then I have all the space on the left to just add all of the other spreads that I'm gonna end up adding. So I have all of this space on the left-hand side that I can fill in all of the spreads that I will eventually end up making throughout the year. And I'm actually very convinced that that is going to be more than enough space, because if I have the space to put my yearly pages or my monthly pages, then there's more than enough space to add all of the spreads that I use. There's no way that I'm gonna be making, I think, how much room do I have here? What is it, like 30, 20, 30? I'm not gonna make 20, 30 spread ideas. I don't think that's gonna happen. I mean, I do start out with having not that much. I think about 3 or 4, but this is just how it's gonna be. Also, if you notice that the frame jumps or like the colors change or whatever, the lighting changes, I had to tape this in like little chunks of time. I was filming this during my time off, and it just didn't feel right to try and rush this, because when I rush it, I inevitably end up not being actually happy with what I've made. And these are important spreads. These are spreads that I'm gonna look at and that I'm gonna see throughout the entirety of the year. So I want them to look inviting. I want to be happy with them. I want to be able to say, "Ooh, these look really cute" every single time I open them, so that they actually are inviting to be used. So rushing those and trying to get those done within a certain time period, it just didn't feel right. So if you see any of the frames or any kind of jump cuts, that is probably what is happening there. I think the biggest one you're probably going to see when I'm making the final spreads of this setup, which ended on a completely different day. So yeah, that is just something, and I decided not to worry about it. I'm pretty sure you guys won't mind. It's just aesthetics, isn't it? And I was actually completely fine with it. Now we have our year at a glance that I decided to make. Again, it's one of those things, when you have it, you feel like it's not important, and then when you don't have it, you do miss it. And this is one of the things where I decided to actually tweak it with another page that I usually make. Usually I have an entire space for future planning. So I have every single month, the way that I have them set up now in this year at a glance, I set them all up, but then I have a lot of space, like I do 1 month in let's say a column. So, and then I have all the space to set all of these future plans that I'm gonna be making. And not gonna lie, it usually ends up being a very big waste of space. When you have a full-time job, when I'm also now doing this channel, I want to get back into Instagram, and a lot of the things just end up, plans that I have, end up in my actual Google Calendar. They don't end up on paper, because that's just the way that it is. I mean, I don't have this bullet journal with me every single day, every single time of every single day. So if a friend asks me, "Are you free at this time?" I'm not gonna say, "Oh, let me wait to get back to you until I get home and get to my journal." That's not fun. So what I actually ended up doing and deciding is to get rid of a future log. If you don't know what a future log is, you can look it up, or I might even pop a little bit of an image on the screen of future logs that I've done in previous journals. But I just started noticing that it was again one of those spreads that I didn't end up going back to, because I used my Google Calendar for every single event that I wanted to plan ahead of time. So that is what I did. And in lieu of that, I did decide that I did want to keep a place to have birthdays, because those are the things. I mean, I am one of those people. I don't think I'm alone in this, but I am one of those people who still has Facebook just to get the birthday reminders. Now, obviously, I know the birthdays of the important people in my life, but then you have your larger group of friends, and I don't remember every single person's birthday. So, because I want to be ahead of it, and because I do want to remember this is a page that I noticed I did go back to the future log in the past, but it usually was to check whose birthday it was going to be that month so I could be prepared. Either get a card, get a birthday present, whatever it may be, to just have that top of mind at the beginning of the month. So I thought that having a spread just based on the birthdays was going to be the best way to do this. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to check Facebook out, because all my friends are on there, and then just go through the list and write down everyone's birthday. I mean, at this point, I could probably also just reference my previous bullet journal, because I'm sure that everyone is also in there. But then, you have kids that are being born, and, people get married, or people get divorced, or people get a new partner, or whatever happens. And so your social circle kind of changes, I guess you can say. That is part of life, is it not? For a social circle to change. Now, we are coming to 2 spreads that I've had now for, well, at least the Phoebe tracker I've had now. This is going to be the second time that I have it in my bullet journal, because obviously Phoebe is turning 3. I don't know how that happened. But yeah, I do have a tracker where I track all of the information that is important to her. Obviously her birthday is on there, because we need to remember her birthday, because that is important. And information like when is her last vet visit. Obviously she also needs medication. Now I say it's medication, but it's just her deworming, defleeing, making sure that none of that gets in her or on her in any way, shape, or form, which you're supposed to do monthly. At least that is the one that I have. And I just have that in there as well as a space to have vet notes. So if I do end up going to the vet, I can just jot down if there's anything important that I need to remember, or if you had to go for an emergency visit, God forbid. But if that is necessary, all those things I can write down in there, because it's important to keep track of the girl. It's very important. And then I also like to keep a little bit of a log of when I last clipped her nails and brushed her fur. Obviously I brush her more than enough, but then sometimes she just needs, especially during the changing seasons, she needs some help. Because the last thing I want is for her to have to puke up a hairball every 5 seconds, because that is just not fun, neither for her or me, because I am cleanup crew. If you're wondering what that little weird post-it note is, that's basically going to be her picture, and obviously she comes for a visit when I am making her own spread, because that is what she does. She is making sure that her spread is absolutely perfect and up to her standards, because she has high ones, and she's just checking on it and making sure that everything's okay and up to par. So underneath that little thingy, I am going to be adding a little picture of her. I have yet to add that, but I think I might want to take a new picture for that, just because it's cute. And I don't know, I just thought that I would add it. I have no idea if it's going to stick or if it's going to look fun and cute. If I've done it by the time that this video comes out, I will add a picture of it and insert it here. But I just thought it was a little fun thing, because this is kind of working as her file, I guess. And I think people especially at the vet, they do have pictures of your pets. At least mine does. Let me know if your vet has it, but my vet has a picture of my animal, just in case that if she gets lost or anything like that, they just have a picture to link to her. I guess it's gonna be her chip that they link it to. So that is exactly what I'm doing now. Just like this is how the same way I'm gonna track if she's had her meds, yes or no. And as you can see, I messed it up because I do not plan ahead. Yes, I do still mess up sometimes, and I think it's very important to note, yes, you see this framing, and yes, you see my bullet journal nicely in the middle of the frame. What you're not seeing, however, is the zone of destruction that is all around this place. There is a reason why Phoebe keeps checking up on me and keeps checking up on this table. It's because there's so many interesting things on this table. And she just likes to sniff all of the things. She obviously is also trying to boop many things off the actual table to my detriment. But you know, cats will be cats, I guess. Now, all of these cute, really cute stickers, washi tapes, all of the things that I'm using, I will be trying to find the links for them. I did order these a lot of time in advance, and I'm not gonna lie, I do not remember where I ordered most of them. But I will be doing my due diligence, and I will be looking most of these up, and you should be able to find them in the description down below, all of the ones that I was obviously able to find again. You should be able to find in the description down below. And I'm still doubting at this point whether or not it's going to be like a shared Google Doc or if it's going to be a list, because I use a lot of stuff. So I don't want to have a description box that is 10 miles long. I don't want to do that. And obviously a lot of these things, a lot of these supplies I will be using throughout the entire year. One of the things that I do want to be mindful of in this new year is I do not want to buy more journaling supplies. I bought a bunch before starting the new setups for the new year, and I just really want to keep using them because, well, first of all, they all fit the same theme, and that is why I'm also thinking of maybe not changing the theme of my bullet journal or of the month every single month. I'm thinking maybe if I want to change things, I think I'm going to change them every single quarter, because that is also going to create some kind of cohesiveness. It is very possible that I'm going to stick with this kind of theme throughout the entirety of the journal, but I don't want to pin myself on one certain thing, because I do like a change. I really do. But for now, this is what I'm sticking with, and I'm really enjoying it, and I still have a lot of the supplies left over. So it would feel very stupid to go out and buy new things for even just my January setup. That would just feel very wrong. Now, when I was talking about the setup that I legitimately just copy and pasted over from my last journal, this one is it. My cleaning tracker is it. Now, if you're wondering, why the hell would you need a cleaning tracker? Do you not know when to clean which part of your house, you dirty animal? Well, no, that is not why that is in here. I think most of you know at this point that I work in healthcare and that I do not have a set schedule, sadly, to my own detriment. And so I know that my week looks different every single week. What does that mean? It means that a lot of the times I actually have no idea what day it is. It happens a lot. And sometimes I work 4 days in a row. Sometimes I work like 2 days, have 1 day off, work 2 days, then I have night shifts in between all of that. It gets very complicated. And so to keep track of what I did when and when something needs to be done gets very difficult in my brain. And it might not for a lot of other people, but it does in mine. And this is the way that I found that actually helps me keep track of it and keep my space clean. Because I have found, I think as many other people have, that if my environment is messy, my brain is messy, and I do not like my brain when it is messy. So this is just the way that I've kind of sorted it out, and it works for me. So I'm just basically having my most coming back house chores, boring adult things that I need to do on this list on either a daily, a weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, bi-monthly, annual, quarterly basis. And again, if you think some of these things, oh, you shouldn't be doing that daily, do that weekly, or you shouldn't be doing that bi-weekly, why aren't you doing that weekly? No, this is what works for me, and I promise you, my house is not a pigsty. So that is what I have found works for me, and this is how I keep track of it. Now, obviously, you might be wondering, like, you have one thing, like one square for multiple jobs that you need to do. Do not worry, the jobs that need to be done bi-weekly, weekly, monthly, whatever it is, they get added to a to-do list at the beginning of the month that I then have reference to. So it's just one of those things, and it is one of my most used spreads. If that gives you any indication of whether or not this works, this is one of the pages that I actually do end up going back to the most, and that actually consistently gets filled out. So that is it's just what works for me. And if it comes to bullet journaling, there's one reason why I always keep coming back to it, and that is because you can do whatever the hell you want. There is a reason why this works for so many people. There's a reason why so many people love it, and that's just because it's versatile. You can change it whenever you want. If you don't use it, you don't use it. If you use it, it's great. If you miss something, you add it, and if you don't use it, that's fine. You just learn for the next time. And I think that is why this has been... I've looked at regular journals. I really have. It doesn't work. It doesn't work for me because I have found when I'm at work, I want to keep things in a separate kind of list because I work with kids. There is a lot of privacy going on. So all of the information of those kids and of the people that I work with, I want to keep as private as possible. And having that notebook or having that planner lying around, yeah, that's not very privacy based, if you catch my drift. So all of that information stays there, but that would then also mean that days where I was at work for the entire day, I would have an empty space in my planner, which felt like such a waste of money and space and time, and I just didn't like it. So this one, bullet journaling, just felt like the perfect way. Also, if you see what I do, I mean, thank you all. If I know a lot of you are saying like they look so pretty and you do it so well and whatever. I am basically a stick it in kind of person. Pardon my French. If you can see what I'm doing, I'm basically just pasting in a lot of washi tape, a lot of stickers, a lot of post-it notes, and that is it. If you're not, I am not the person that you are gonna have to come to when it comes to beautiful hand lettering, beautiful drawings. That is not me, and it's never going to be me. Sadly. I will say sadly. I would love to be better at drawing. It might be something that I want to look into in the future, but for now, I just don't feel like my drawings are pretty enough to actually start with or actually have them in my journal, so I just don't do it. So I rely on other people who have made amazing art that I can stick in my notebooks, and that is what I do. Speaking of sticking things in my notebook, if you've noticed, I have made these little handy dandy stickers to actually paste my, my titles in my bullet journal. And I will link it in the description down below because it has been a game changer for me, and I'm hoping that it might be able to be for you. Jashi Corinne is another YouTube creator here on this space, and a lot of my inspiration I get from her. A lot of tips and tricks I have gotten from her. For us reader fanatics, she also has a reading club. She has a great reading challenge throughout the year, which is the Goober Reading Challenge. He's a little ghosty. He's really cute. And we're opening a bakery this year, and it's just amazing. She is a creator, again, like I mentioned, that I go to quite a lot when I have a lack of inspiration or when I have something that I just cannot figure out how to do. She will probably have a YouTube video on it. And one of the things that she's had a YouTube video on is how to make these bullet journaling titles on sticker paper. And for the life of me, the solution is so simple that you just wouldn't think of it. And then after you know it, you kick yourself in the head about the fact that it's so simple, why did you not think of it? So I do highly recommend you check out that video if you want to know how I've made my little sticky notes. That is exactly how. I just copy and pasted everything she did in that video, and it's worked out absolutely perfect. I think I even mentioned it, trialing it in a readathon video. I should check which one it is, but it is in there. Speaking of new spreads, this is a new spread that I've added, which is a social media tracker. And obviously it's a new one because I've started my YouTube channel this year. So that was one that I needed to add, which is all brand spanking new. And I'm actually really happy with how it turned out. If you can spot it, yes, Instagram is on there as well. I need to get back there. I have been neglecting my Instagram page very, very much. And one of the goals that I have for the next year is to actually get back into that and to kind of bring new life into it, especially now also with having the Throne of Glass reading challenge. I just want to share it with as many people as I can so that Donna and I can share this Throne of Glass read along with as many readers as we possibly can. So if you're interested in a Throne of Glass read along, again, just link in the description to our announcement videos and come join us come January. That is all I can say. Again, it's just really simple. I'm just going to be logging every single month what the subscriber count is or the follower count. And that is just going to be it. I also have a tracker in my Notion page, but it's a fun thing to keep track of. And on the other side, I had a little bit of a self-care bundle. This is actually one of the things that if any of you were participating in Resetathon, which is hosted by Hermie from over at the Book Hermit and Beatrice from Beatrice's Book Nook. It has sadly been ended. The Resetathon will not be happening again. But one of those things that was a prompt that we were allowed to do for self-care was to create like a self-care toolbox kit. And I just decided to rename it Self-Care Bundle. But that is 100% where I got the idea from. And I just thought it would be a nice little reminder to have in my journal, because journaling is one of the practices that I do to just take care of myself and to come back and relax and do something that I like, do something that I love, and just have fun. This is the final spread in my yearly setup, which is all going to be based on goals. Now, I do like quarterly goal. I do like to give myself some time to reach goals. Some don't take as long, some take longer, and that is all fine. But I feel like if I don't have a space to write them out and to have like that reminder that they're there, and that I did decide to work on something, I do tend to forget and go on autopilot and just not look at them. So having them in my bullet journal is always kind of another way to keep reminding myself, like, oh, you did decide that these were the things that you wanted to work on. So how about you go back and you actually go and work on them? So this is one of those, again, sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. I do have a Notion page tracker, and I just feel like sometimes I go with Notion, sometimes I go with paper planning. It's just it's based on how I feel at any given moment. I do feel like I'm very much in love with how the spread turned out. So the chances are very high that this is going to be what I'm going to be using. Now, obviously, this will not hold the space to write out what I'm actually planning on doing and how I want to achieve my goals. That is not enough space. I think what this is going to be like is probably going to be like a short to-do list, or like just writing out the goal. What is the goal, or what are the goals that I want to reach for this quarter? What I want to focus on? How am I going to do it? And then just the how will probably get jotted down in little small bite-sized tasks. And then if I need to elaborate, if I need to do more, that will most definitely be set up in my Notion. If you've noticed, there was a little bit of a snafu. I think one of the gel pens that I was using smudged on the other page. Now, if you are someone who uses a lot of stickers, using stickers is perfect to like cover up all of those things, because you would never know now that there was a smudge. Also, if you smudge, you smudge. I think one of the things two things actually that bullet journaling has helped me with is fear of the blank page, because we all have it. Those of you who love to journal, we all have the fear of the first page, of actually starting. It's happened. It's what happens. It's a thing. It's probably even a proven something at this point. And also fear of making a mistake. I think this bullet journaling thing has taught me that it doesn't really matter. There's either a way to fix it, which, put a sticker over it, paste pages together, white out, have a white gel pen on hand, whatever you want to do. Even just pasting other pages over top of it. Everything works. So nothing is forever. Everything is temporary. Every mistake can be fixed, or just accept it. Honestly, just accept it and move on, because it's not the end of the world, is it? To have a smudge on a piece of paper in a journal that you do love, but it's all not that deep, is it? But with that, I think we're coming up into the final little, see, I learned here. I put a piece of paper under there because, one smudge, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. So, yeah, I mean, as you guys can see, I think all of this took me, I'm gonna say, the better part of an afternoon. Now, the reason why it took me this long was honestly because I was also in sprints, and I was chatting, and I was starting and stopping. Obviously, a second part of it, this spread, was all made the next day. So, because of lighting and all of the things. But, it's one of those things where I don't want to rush it, and I want to take my time and actually enjoy myself. But with that, here is a final flip through. Here is what is going to be my setup for the start of the new year. I hope all of you guys enjoyed. I hope you liked seeing my little setup. If there's anything that you want to take over into your journal, please let me know. If you have any fun ideas for spreads, please let me know as well. I would be able to do some more. But yeah, this is going to be it. And thank you all for watching. And I'm going to see you all in the next video, which will probably be the long-awaited book bullet journal setup. I love you all. Bye.